What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about why you need to grow up. You're probably in your teens, maybe you're a little bit older, and yet you still act like you're in high school. You still act like how you did whenever you were a kid. You have childish activity, childish mentality, childish behaviors that you haven't even grown out of. The moment that you graduated from high school, or the moment that you have, entered the maturity level of growing up to actually understand what it takes for you to be an adult, there's almost no reason for you to still be acting childish. There's no reason for you to still be doing the childish ways and the things that you used to do when you were younger. At this point in your life, you should be focusing on the priorities and the goals that you need to achieve for you to take life seriously. I think whenever you're a kid and you're trying to figure life out, you kind of just dilly-dally, if you will, going through life. You don't really take it seriously because you don't understand the seriousness of life. And yet, at the moment that you start growing up, the more that you start understanding that bills all of a sudden need to be paid and you need to make money and you need a high credit score, that then you start to take life serious. You start to actually be like, okay, I need a good job, I need a good career, I need good education, I need to make sure that I have my life in order. But you don't understand that until you start growing up. You don't understand that until you start becoming more mature. And some people, you grow up a little bit quicker than most people. Some people, they're more mature in high school than a normal person, just because of the life that they go and that they've lived. If you've been in a single parent household, or if you're in a low income household, maybe you are required to do more than someone else that's living, more comfortable. And so your maturity level affects how you are inside your head, but it also affects how quick you grow up. And people nowadays, especially especially if you're older and you have childish mentality or childish behaviors, things don't go your way, so you want to sit and pout. Things don't go your way, so you want to just quit and give up, or maybe you just want to throw in the towel. Like, that's childish behavior, but you don't realize it. And if you do realize it, you just don't want to change it, which is still a childish mentality. You know what I'm saying? You still are trying to learn how to grow into who you are supposed to be as a grown man or as a grown woman or even a young adult. You know what I'm saying? Because once you pass like that 18, maybe like 19 age limit, you start discovering who you are to grow into who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? But even then, you have people that's 30s and up and they still have childish ways. That's because they never knew what it was like or have someone to tell them how to grow up. They never had the right mentorship or the right guidance to tell them what it took for them to grow up. So I think that you need to grow up. I'm not saying that I'm grown. I know a lot of people, are having their own way of life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. And so I still, if I could be honest, then, I'm sure I have things that are a little bit childish, but everyone's working on something, right? And so I think that as you're trying to figure life out, you need to figure out what's going to make you more mature, what's going to make you want to grow up and be the person that you need to be. Not be this childish person that kind of takes is pushed over or that doesn't know how to speak up for themselves. They're looking to be dependent on someone else. Grown-ups are learning how to be independent, learn how to be able to make their own decisions, learn how to think for themselves, know how to handle life the correct way. And I think that that's what makes someone, more grown. Because when you're a kid, you're not thinking about those things. You're not taking life seriously. You're just so focused on having fun and having adventure and, getting outside to do things, being able to travel or being able to, go to school, be able to be with friends, be able to be dumb and, do stupid things just because, you're young. Some people are like to live in a young mentality, but eventually you're gonna have to grow up. Eventually you're gonna want to buy a house, or eventually you're gonna want to buy a car, and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, your credit score isn't high enough. What do I do to get my credit score up? Okay, well, you should have been working on your credit score when you was in this age group or whenever you was younger. But now you don't have the best, credit score. So now you have to depend on someone else to actually co-sign for you. Or like I said, it's just your maturity and the way that you think and the way that you operate about different situations. The way that you react whenever things don't go your way, things don't turn out how you want them to in a relationship, or maybe for a job opportunity, for the things that you're personally working on. All of a sudden, you're working on your fitness and you're like, man, I just don't see no results. I'm just going to give up because I feel like there's no hope in this. Everything that I do, there's no hope in it. Like, you have this negative self-talk and type of mentality. But I think that comes from maturity. That also comes from, where your faith is at and understanding how to put your trust in God. But besides from that, I think that, being grown and trying to mature comes from you. Comes from the environment that you grew up with, comes from the guidance that you've been through, comes from the teachers or maybe any type of mentors that you have or haven't had in your life. Like, this is the season for you to grow up. And maybe you don't realize the type of childish ways that you have, or the type of childish habits that you have. Whenever you're around certain people, you start acting more like childlike, right? Maybe you're around your boys and they're like, oh, let's just go do something stupid. And it's like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but this is the environment that I'm in. So I'm just going to go act childlike. And if something happens, then I know I shouldn't have done that. But that's the environment I put myself in. Or, let's go out to the club and let's just try to have fun and live in the moment, like, because we're just young and, we have nothing else to do. It's a Saturday night, Those things I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not downplaying them. But they can have that's more so like a teen or young adult type of mentality. More so grown, it's like, let me spend my time investing into me, taking care of my family, spending quality time with my friends, doing things that actually matter. You're not going outside and trying to drink a beer every single weekend, trying to get drunk every single weekend. That's like college mentality. You know what I'm saying? At this point, you're supposed to be a grown man and you're still doing college mentality things. We should be elevating, right? We should be pushing forward. We should be looking for the next big opportunity for us to grow and to expand. We should be looking for ways to get better, to get more fit, the ways that we can be able to get our money up, ways that we can be able to acquire better things, acquire better connections, be in better rooms. But yet we're stuck in this high school mentality. We're stuck in this childish mentality, doing childish things. So it's holding you back from the grown person that you're supposed to be. You don't understand, like, maybe you don't realize the things that actually play a role in your life that hold you back from being the grown person that you're supposed to be. It's one thing to be like, oh, I still handle all my responsibilities and I'm doing it, but every now and then I go out and I party or I club or, whatever. But if you do that on a consistent basis, what are you fighting in here that you haven't dealt with yet, that keeps you in that childish mentality? That victimized mentality that everything else that's going on around the world is against you and that you're the perfect person and that you're not the problem. Maybe you are the problem. Things in the world are not happening just by circumstances or just by chance. If you're putting yourself in these positions or these rooms or these environments, maybe you need to switch out those environments. You need to grow up. It is literally the time for you to grow up. And it really just comes down to you. The decision literally comes down to you. And the quicker that you realize that, the quicker that you're like, look, man, I need to cut this, and cut this, because these things aren't making me any better. I need to start replacing drinking with reading. I need to start replacing clubbing with quality time. I need to start replacing spending addictions and gambling to investing, right? These are the things that's going to get you to the farther level instead of you doing these childish mentality things. And the quicker that you understand that, the quicker that you start growing up, which is why, like I said, it depends on the level that you start learning these things. You have someone else that's young, trying to get their life together and trying to do things the right way. And then you have someone that's older that still has childish mentality. It should be flipped. You should have a 43-year-old getting their life together, already have some type of structure, and a 23-year-old being like, okay, well, let me go out and waste time and party and club and do everything. But sometimes they're switched. Why is that? The 43-year-old needs to get yourself together. And if you're older and you're like, man, it's so hard to just get over this addiction. It's so hard to just put it down or to stop doing this. Like, again, why is that a problem for you? What are you running from whenever you drink? Like, what feeling do you get? Okay, you don't even feel it. You don't even remember anything. Why is that such a big craving for you? Like, why do you want that for your life? I just feel like I want to go out and I want to club and I want to party with people, but it's like, are you looking for a one night stand? Like, are you just looking for a good time with the people that you're with? Are you just looking for, for you to explore the city? Like, what are we actually looking for? The things that you do that you're addicted to maybe, or the things that you feel like shouldn't be a problem, you need to ask yourself, why am I even doing this? And if it feels like it doesn't align with that why that you want to accomplish, then you need to find a way to replace that time or replace that thing for you to do something that's going to help you grow, that's going to help you get better, the thing that's going to help you elevate. You know what I'm saying? You have to find time for you to grow up. And you're stuck in this mentality of high school, childish, stubbornness, arrogance mentality. So maybe this open up your eyes a little bit. Realize that you do need to grow up, no matter what age you are. Figure out this mentality right here. Do I have a grown mentality or do I have a childish mentality? And then start to operate from there and know exactly what it takes for you to get to the next level as far as you growing up and being the type of person that you want to be. So that's all I really got for y'all in this video. That's going to wrap it up. Like this video, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. And until then, y'all, I will find y'all in the next video. I'm gone.